when a show like The Summer I Turned Pretty becomes more than just a seasonal obsession, when it becomes a feeling, every new chapter carries weight. For fans who have spent sun-drenched evenings debating Team Conrad versus Team Jeremiah, the upcoming movie continuation isn't just another adaptation. It's a return to Cousins Beach, to tangled emotions, to first love and almost forevers. And at the center of that anticipation stands Gavin Casalegno, who recently revealed the one request he made before cameras begin rolling. It wasn't about screen time. It wasn't about a dramatic monologue. It wasn't even about winning the love triangle. It was about honesty. According to those close to production, Casalegno's request was simple, yet quietly powerful. He wanted Jeremiah's emotional growth to feel real. Not rushed, not softened, not reduced to a romantic rival archetype. Real. That might seem small, but in a story born from the pages of Jenny Han's beloved book trilogy, emotional authenticity is everything. The original novels, and later the Prime Video adaptation, thrived because they understood something fundamental about youth. It's messy, it's impulsive, it's beautiful and devastating in the same breath. Jeremiah has often been painted as the golden retriever heartthrob, the sunlit counterpart to Conrad's stormy intensity. But as the series evolved, so did audience perception. Jeremiah isn't just the safe choice, he's layered, he's insecure. He's capable of both deep loyalty and deep hurt. And Casalegno knows that flattening that complexity in a film would betray the very fans who've defended his character for years. The upcoming movie faces a delicate balancing act. Translating a multi-episode arc into a single cinematic narrative means choices must be made. Subplots trimmed, moments condensed. For an ensemble that includes Lola Tung as Belly and Christopher Briney as Conrad, each character's trajectory must land with clarity. In that environment, it would be easy for Jeremiah to slide back into a supporting role in someone else's love story. Casalegno pushed back against that possibility. He reportedly asked that Jeremiah's vulnerabilities not be glossed over for the sake of pacing. If Jeremiah struggles, let him struggle. If he makes mistakes, let the audience sit with them. Growth should be earned, not narrated. It's a bold request in an industry that often prioritizes spectacle over subtlety. But then again, The Summer I Turned Pretty was never just about spectacle. Sure, there are 4th of July fireworks and beach bonfires, but the emotional explosions have always been the real draw. Imagine the movie opening with Cousins Beach once again washed in golden light. Belly returns, older, perhaps wiser, carrying the invisible weight of past decisions. Conrad stands at the shoreline, quiet as ever. Jeremiah, if Casalegno's request is honored, won't simply flash his easy grin and pick up where things left off. Instead, there might be hesitation in his eyes. A recognition that love, once fractured, doesn't mend without effort. That effort is what Casalegno wants explored. For actors, especially young actors, stepping into long-running roles, there's a temptation to protect a character's likability. But Casalegno seems willing to risk Jeremiah being misunderstood, if it means being truthful. That speaks to a maturity that mirrors the story's own evolution. The cast that once embodied teenage longing is now navigating adulthood, both on and off screen. And that shift matters. Fans who discovered the series during its early streaming days have grown alongside these characters. They've taken sides in countless social media debates. They've rewatched scenes, parsed dialogue, built playlists that capture the ache of a summer goodbye. What they crave now isn't just resolution, it's resonance. Casalegno's request suggests he understands that. There's also a broader conversation at play here about how love triangles are framed in film adaptations. Too often, one suitor is elevated while the other becomes a narrative stepping stone. But Jenny Han's world has always resisted that binary. Conrad isn't simply moody. Jeremiah isn't simply fun. Belly isn't simply confused. They're all flawed. They're all searching. If the movie honors that spirit, Jeremiah's arc could become one of its emotional anchors. Perhaps we'll see him grappling with the pressure of always being the easy choice. Perhaps we'll witness a quieter form of heartbreak, the kind that comes not from dramatic declarations, but from realizing someone you love is choosing a different future. Casalegno's desire for emotional authenticity also signals something reassuring about the film's direction. It implies collaboration. It suggests that the actors aren't just reciting lines, but participating in shaping the story's final chapter. That synergy between performer and material often makes the difference between a good adaptation and a lasting one. Of course, fans are already speculating. Will the movie follow the exact trajectory of the third book? Will it offer surprises? Will it dare to deviate? Whatever narrative choices unfold, Jeremiah's portrayal will be under a microscope. Team Jeremiah supporters will be watching for vindication. Team Conrad loyalists will be watching for closure. And casual viewers will simply want to feel something true. That's the quiet power behind Casalegno's single request. In a media landscape saturated with reboots and spin-offs, sincerity becomes currency. The Summer I Turned Pretty earned its audience by leaning into emotional vulnerability rather than away from it. If the movie doubles down on that approach, if Jeremiah's growth feels messy and earned, it could elevate the adaptation beyond simple fan service. Picture a climactic scene not defined by who wins, but by who understands themselves better. Maybe Jeremiah learns that loving someone doesn't always mean being chosen. Maybe he discovers a version of himself that exists outside the orbit of Belly's affection. That kind of resolution wouldn't just satisfy, it would mature the story. And perhaps that's what Casalegno is really asking for. Not a victory, not a rewrite, just truth. As production gears up and anticipation builds, one thing is clear. The upcoming film carries the emotional weight of countless summer rewatches and dog-eared paperbacks. The sun may set on Cousins Beach eventually, but how it sets matters. If Gavin Casalegno gets his wish, Jeremiah's final chapter won't be defined by rivalry. It will be defined by growth. And in a story that has always celebrated the bittersweet beauty of becoming, that feels exactly right. Because sometimes the most powerful request an actor can make isn't for more lines or more spotlight. It's for honesty.